it is surreal and crazy to think that a live action remake of Moana is going to exist in the year 2026, just 10 years after the original film, and then just 2 years after the sequel, Moana 2, came out. But nonetheless, here we have in 2025, November 17th to be specific, a trailer for the live action Moana has just come out. Actually, at the time I'm recording this, it came out a few hours ago, earlier today. I was at work when the trailer dropped, but I figured this would be a fun reaction video to do, just showcase my first reaction to this really kind of crazy concept for a movie. They would have remade Moana eventually, but to do it 10 years after the original film and then to do it, coming out 2 years after the sequel film, it's just kind of uncharted territory to do a live action remake while a animated series is still going. I mean, it'll probably be a Moana 3. But regarding this movie specifically, they announced it last year. Again, there was the whole thing of everyone, I'll sound like a broken record, but just thinking that just seems way too soon. But Disney has been in need of money for a lot of reasons, and Moana has been a big cash cow over the last decade, just because the first Moana, the original film's it's a great movie. Great movie, to me a top 10 Disney movie, Disney animated film of all time. That's why the sequel was so big, making over $1 billion. It's just, with live action remakes, maybe you want to wait about 20-ish years, so not everyone is saying that it's too soon. But here comes the trailer. What's going to be really interesting is seeing The Rock actually portray Maui in live action. That'll be something, that's the most intriguing thing about this. I'll go more into that after I've watched the trailer. But enough rambling. I've got the trailer. I'm going to watch it on the official Disney YouTube channel. Got it all set up. Volume's good. All right, watching in 3, 2, 1, and click.
I am a girl who loves my island.
Oh, it's definitely a
I'm
live
a
action
girl
remake.
who loves the sea. It calls me.
Pretty shot for shot so far. Definitely shot for shot.
The wind in my sail on the sea stays behind me. One day I'll know how far I'll go.
There it is.
I am Moana.
Yeah, they got I forgot about seeing that chicken in live action, but it's a CGI chicken just because of how crazy that chicken Hey looks in the animated movie. Ain't no way you could do that, I guess, in live action. I forgot about that, seeing him and that pig. So you see that, I mean, that's a teaser trailer in terms of just showing you glimpses of the movie, not even surprisingly showing anything of, well, not anything, but not a full reveal of Dwayne Johnson, The Rock, back as Maui. They just showed that shot of him jumping, which you didn't really see the full presence. But actually, that's good. That's what a teaser trailer should do in terms of just being a reveal of the film. But just based on the trailer, you see the kind of direction this is, or just teaser trailer, you see the direction this is going to go, which is the whole shot-for-shot remake route. Saw that earlier this year with How to Train Your Dragon, which that movie is as about as shot-for-shot as you can get. I remember watching The Lion King 2019 and thinking, The Lion King 2019 live action reimagining and thinking that was shot-for-shot, but you got to the How to Train Your Dragon this year, and that one was just beat for beat, changing absolutely nothing besides the color of some of the characters' skin. It's the safe approach to go with it. It just begs the question, why remake it at all? I know this is just a teaser trailer, but it's easy to tell just based on this teaser that's the direction it's going to go. All of those shots that you saw in the trailer, whether it was her with the ocean as a kid, that shot with Hey at the end, Some of the stuff like the flashback scene from the original film with the Voyagers. I mean, all of this stuff is right out of the original movie. And this, when you do this and it comes 10 years, just 10 years after the original film, it just feels like a big, really, at least with The Lion King, they waited, that was 25 years later. The original Lion King was 1994 and the live action reimagining was 2019, so 25 years. And then Lilo and Stitch just this year that was 2023. Like I said, I think 20 years is a good amount of time to wait. 10 years and doing this while the animated series is still going on, it just feels like the most kind of cynical cash cow you can ever have. And I don't feel that way when it comes to live action reimaginings. I actually think it's fun to see these stories in a different way, and it gives people that, a chance to celebrate the original film. Even something like Snow White, the live action reimagining. Say what you want to about that live action reimagining, but it got me to rewatch the original again. I even did a retro review for it. Same thing with Lilo and Stitch caused me to do a rewatch of the whole series. So it's a good chance to celebrate these movies again, but you need to do it with something that's appropriate. It just feels way too soon. But let me stop rambling about that. The actual movie, production wise, looks good. Just kind of the visuals. It's the animated film, but it got that live action kind of obviously in live action. But those visuals and stuff they did was nice. Just kind of seeing that was okay on a technical level. The actual girl that's playing Moana, I don't know what the actress's name was, but she looks like it could be okay. She looks more Asian than Polynesian. That's the only unfortunate thing. I remember when they announced this film last year, a couple of years ago, whenever it was, they said they were going to get the actual actress who voiced Moana, Alawi Carvalho, I think if that's how you pronounce it. Yeah, they said we were going to get her to actually portray live action Moana, which when you see her, you're like, yeah, she could pull it off. But I guess, things went sideways and that didn't go through. She does look a bit older to be portraying Moana as she's supposed to be in the story. In the original film, I think Moana is like 14 years old, maybe. The way that actress looks now would be more appropriate maybe for Moana 2, and even then she might be a little bit too old. That would have been a really cool thing, something I would be excited to have the two main actors with Alahi Carvalho and Dwayne Johnson both back in live action for Maui and Moana. Now that would have been pretty cool. This as it is, I'm sure it's, whatever. I'm sure they cast someone that's going to be good in the role. And hey, in terms of the singing, just in the trailer, that song, How Far I'll Go, it sounded okay from, hearing that. So if that's actually her singing, who knows? So yeah, in terms of being a teaser trailer, it looks fine. On a technical level, I just think it just seems pointless. But then again, that whole shot-for-shot remake approach, it did work for How to Train Your Dragon in terms of that movie getting good reviews and being a critical success. I know it was a weird feeling when I watched it because I was all like, I'm enjoying the movie, but if it's just going to be a shot-for-shot remake, then it just seems kind of pointless. At least I always prefer it if they're going to do this stuff, try to do something a little different. There's that fine line, where you can do something that, strays a little bit, but being close to the original movie, if that makes sense. Now, sometimes movies can take it a little too far. I think Lilo and Stitch from this year, made a few odd decisions. But, movies can strike that right balance. I think the movie that had just the right balance for live action remakes was 2019's Aladdin. I thought that one struck a really nice balance in terms of being faithful to that original animated film, but having its own flavor and spin on certain scenes where it was working really well. Even Lilo and Stitch, up until the ending, the climax, I thought it struck a really nice balance as well. But Moana, we'll see. It's just a teaser trailer. The real test will be when they do the official trailer and showcase, more of the characters, seeing more of Dwayne Johnson as The Rock, those other animal sidekicks, how that's going to be, that kind of thing. But I thought this would just be a fun teaser trailer reaction to show my first reaction to this look of the film, because like I said, it's surreal they're doing a live action Moana in 2026. But here it is. So you'll see this trailer in front of Zootopia 2 next week. So enough rambling. That'll do it for this trailer reaction for the teaser trailer for Moana. If you made it to the end of this video, thank you for watching.